Studying the saving function. Yesterday or the last session we studied the consumption function from the chapter national income, right? Or the theory of income and employment. So yesterday we studied about the consumption function, the diagram of consumption function and properties of consumption function. Today we will be studying the saving function, the diagram related to it, and how this saving function is related to consumption function. Now yesterday only we had drawn this diagram. Let us repeat this diagram once again in order to make it more clearer. I hope this is clear to everyone. This is OX axis showing the income of the consumer, and this is OY axis showing the consumption expenditure. Consumption expenditure of the consumer, right? Then this is Y line. Y line is the income line, is the national income line of the economy, and this is the opposite of C, consumption expenditure plus saving of the consumer. So Y is equal to C plus S, right? Y, income is divided into consumption expenditure and saving. So Y is 1, Y is 1, and 1 is divided into two parts, consumption and saving. Then we said this is the 45-degree line. We have talked about it yesterday, dividing both the axes from in between. That means any point on this curve. If you measure the income from any point on this curve, it can be measured from y-axis also and x-axis also, and it will come out to be the same, right? Now this next thing is that this is your C line. C line is your consumption line, and this C line you are starting not from point of origin, not from 0, but you are starting from intercept A, and you said this is the consumption expenditure of the consumer at 0 level of income. And this consumption of the consumer is met by either withdrawing the past cash or from borrowing by the consumer. So this consumption level of the consumer is also known as autonomous consumption. Yesterday we talked about it. Autonomous consumption, that means it is this consumption is not a function of income, because there is no income right now over here. We are at 0 level, there is no income. So this consumption is not a function of income, it is autonomous consumption. Autonomous consumption is a consumption which is not a function of income, which is not influenced by the income, right? So, and then what we said that it is a point where income is equal to consumption of the consumer. Earlier what we see that consumption is greater than income because Y line is below the C line. So at this level, from here to here, even though when the income is increasing, consumption is also increasing because it is a positive slope. But here on this stage what we see that consumption is greater than income, and as we move on the stage comes where consumption is equal to income, and then further at the third stage income is greater than consumption, because MPC, when income increases, consumption also increases, but by a smaller amount, because a part of it is used by the consumer to save. Now we come to the saving function, and we will be deriving the saving function from this diagram. We are connecting this panel to the second panel over here. I hope this is clear to everyone. OX axis, again we will be taking income. Alright. This is OY0. Just keep it in mind, right? This is income of the consumer and this is saving of the consumer. Right? Saving or plural number. This is saving of the consumer. Now what happens that when you say over here, when you represent this entire picture over here, what you say that this part of the consumption is not a function of income. Consumer is withdrawing his past cash, either the past withdrawing past cash, or he is borrowing from someone to meet this consumption, right? That means there is no income over here. It means that when there is no income of the consumer and he is still consuming, this is, we said, there is no saving by the consumer. This part shows no saving. Alright. Yesterday we used the term this saving, but I would prefer you to use no saving word. There is no saving, or you can say negative saving. If we use the same part in the saving panel, we will be showing it by minus A. This is A. This will be minus A because this is showing negative saving of the consumer. So we will be starting the saving curve from the negative, from the below axis. And now we will be connecting these two like this. This is Y0 level of income. So when there is no saving, this is shown by minus A. This is S line we are drawing from this curve. So this is negative saving of the consumer, and when consumption is equal to income, again the saving is 0. So this X axis shows the 0 level of saving by the consumer. It is meeting over here, and then this all is over here also Y0 level of income. Over here also it is Y0 level of income. And then as we move on like this, right? Now if you connect, well, now what is happening over here? Here income is greater than consumption. That means consumption is less, income is more. So whatever income is left, that is saved by the consumer. So saving is positive over here. I hope this is clear. Now we can connect all these three panels over here like this. This is like this. This saving, negative saving or 0 saving by the consumer. This is negative, then 0 saving, and then this part. This part shows positive saving by the consumer by the AB amount. Right? I hope this is clear. The diagram is clear to you all. So what we say, when there is no saving, this is shown in the saving panel by the negative line below the axis minus A. When both of them they intersect each other, that means whatever is earned by the consumer is consumed. So saving is equal to 0 in this panel, in the saving panel. And then the third stage, that is Y2 level of income. When income increases beyond this level, the consumption is less than income. That means positive saving by the consumer by the AB amount. So this is how we are deriving the saving function or the saving panel from the consumption panel. The rest of the illustration I will be giving you through the audio.